Cheers to the world we dream about and the world we live in now. It's from Hadestown if you haven't seen it. It's really good. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about anarchy because I was on Xiaohongshu and there's a post about like someone asking how many people like believe in communism, I guess. I don't remember exactly. But I responded to it and I said like, I think I'm an anarchist, but I'm happy about any move away from capitalism, and I think capitalism and anarchy have the same end goals, where like the end goal of capitalism is a classless, stateless, moneyless society, and like anarchy is like, to me, like the idea of like no borders, no rulers, none of that. But like to me, communism in the meantime is like, we're gonna have like one ruler, obviously, and like, yeah, I don't believe that we need a ruler. I don't believe we need someone telling us what to do with our lives. I think we can like figure it out for ourselves. I don't think we need like laws in order to tell us not to murder people. I think most people are like pretty good at doing that anyway. And like the reasons like murder happen, like my old roommate used to watch a lot of those like true crime shit. I hate that stuff. Sorry, I'm not one of the girlies. But anyway, like girls love that shit and I can't stand it. What are we doing next? I think I'm going one more row up, right? No. I think I'm going back out. Okay. Shoot. Okay, we gotta do that row over. Not the whole thing. Anyway, so yeah, I responded to this comment about communism and I said like, I'm an anarchist, but like I appreciate communism, or like I'm happy like with any move away from capitalism, like I said. And so a bunch of people like responded to me and they're like, you should read Stalin or Lenin. They had like really good ideas or whatever. And I was like, what? Like, I don't want to. Like, okay. I've like, when I first decided like, I think I'm an anarchist, I'm gonna start reading anarchist theory, and I looked up anarchy on like thrift books, and I found like one of the first books that popped up was called Mutual Aid by Peter, I don't know how to say his last name, like Kronopkin or something. And I read it like, well, I read a couple chapters, and then I think it was like chapter 6 or 7, like he's talking about animals mostly, and then chapter 6 or 7 he starts talking about like native savages, and I was like, ooh, I don't want to keep reading this. Actually, like what he was saying up until now like makes a lot of sense. Like he was saying that this animal species that like work together and like have more of a communal way of living, like those are the species that last. It's not like Charles Darwin, like the myth of what Charles Darwin has said now, like what his writing has become, which like people will refer to it as like survival of the fittest, but that's not what he was saying at all. But like he never used those words in his writing, so like it's weird that that's like the one thing that people like refer to Darwin. They're like, oh yeah, survival of the fittest. Like, no, actually. And I haven't read Darwin, but I've heard a lot of people talk about this, so like, okay. That's another thing, is like some people just like aren't that good at reading. Like I think it's weird that everybody like expects every single person to like do their own research and like read all these books and stuff. Like I think that the way that like people will complain about YouTube video essays and stuff and be like, you should like go and check their sources and all this stuff, and like I don't do that. Because like I trust that these people have like done the reading that they say, and they're like talking about it, and they're like, a lot of people think it means this, but actually like this, and then they like put quotes from it. So like, I don't know, I don't feel like I need to necessarily like go do my own research on every single thing. Like there's other things that I need to do during the day, you know what I mean? Like I don't have time for all this. Like I don't have time to just like sit down and read all these like different like writers that are theorizing about like I know what I think the world should look like, and I know that other people agree with me, and I know that other people agree on some things and not all of them. Like, I personally don't think money should exist at all. Like, the fact that some people have way more money than they need, and some people are dying because they can't get enough money to like pay for their insulin, which should be, the patent for insulin is $1, and they keep like changing it so they can charge like ridiculous amounts for it. It's so stupid. Like, people are dying because, not because they don't have access to money technically, because they're dying because other people are greedy and are like denying them access to things that they need because they don't have money. So like, I don't think that money should exist, but there are other people who I've heard say like, money isn't bad, like money isn't the root of all evil, money can be good, you can do good things with money. And like, to me, I'm like, okay, sure, like what? Like, you can give money to a homeless person to like help them, but like under a system where there was no money and like everybody's needs were met, like everyone was getting food and shelter just based on the fact that they're alive, like we wouldn't need money to like help solve the problems that money is creating. Do you know what I mean? So like, sure, if you want to make a system that like can't be exploited to the point where like some people have billions and billions of dollars and some people like again are dying because other people are saying like, no, you need to pay for food and shelter and insulin and whatever else you may need. I don't think that I don't think it can work. I think that if you like, say, the reason that I don't think we should have like one leader is like you can make the system as good as you want, and then like if one corrupt person gets power, they can change, like they have the power to change the system. Like, I mean, I don't think America is a good country. We're founded on genocide and slavery, but if you want to pretend that like, oh, America is this like great like democracy with like all these values sorry, I can't even say it with a straight face. Like, if you want to pretend that America's like always been this great country and like Donald Trump is like the first like bad president we've had besides like Andrew Jackson, like I think all of them were bad, but like Andrew Jackson did the Trail of Tears, that's why I specifically picked him. Yeah, he sucked, like in particular. But yeah, Donald Trump isn't like unique, he's a product of the system, he's not, but like some people will argue that like, yeah, what I was saying, like he's just like the first like bad president and like he's the one that's like causing all these problems. Like he couldn't have caused these problems without this like power structure that we live under. Do you know what I mean? Like if we didn't have a presidency with like executive authority like the power to create executive orders, then he couldn't be exploiting that system. Like even if we made that system, hypothetically, if the white male slave owners who like made this system where all men are created equal, it's all just so ridiculous. Like none of this it's so dumb, and it's like none of it has to be real. Like we don't have to have the government telling us what to do. And so yeah, I don't think we should have like one leader. It seems like from what I understand about communism, again, I haven't like read theory. I have another thing about Marx that I want to say, but anyway, I don't think we should have like one leader. I don't think we should have like one, I don't believe in like being a Marxist, which I'll get to more later, or like a Leninist or whatever, like whatever one person you want to identify your like beliefs as. Like I think like everybody's flawed, like everybody's done things that are bad, everyone has probably some good ideas, right? Like you can take what's good from the people you don't like like take what resonates and leave the rest. You can like take the good things that somebody says and just be like, yeah, they were kind of a shitty person. I saw a video talking about Einstein where they're like, yeah, he was like an asshole to his wife or like to women or something. I was like, wow, like you never hear about that. And then I saw another video where it said like he was happily married to like his cousin or something. So like, I don't know. I don't know where people find out this information. Like I never understood like where historians get their information. Like how do you know? You know what I mean? It just like, anyway, So there was a video, I can't remember what video it was, but like I'm pretty sure there's a video about like urban planning. It was like a whole channel kind of about urban planning. There's like 3 videos that I've seen from them, and I think it's one of those. I kind of scrolled through. I was looking for this quote that they used about Marx one time, and I couldn't find it in the one video that I was like pretty sure it was in. I'll try to like find it again, and if I do, I'll link it down below. But there was a video, I'm pretty sure by this urban planning guy. Sorry, I don't know his name, it's been a while. But yeah, there was a quote about Marx in this video that was like, he used to like go down to the like hotel bar every night, and he would get like really drunk, and then he would turn to the person next to him and say, "I'm going to annihilate you," and then laugh like a maniac, or maniacally or whatever. And that just brought up oh god, there's this guy I used to work with, and if you've seen my videos before, there's a girl that this is a lesbian pride stunt. Anyway, it's like my lesbian crown. Yeah, so there's a girl that I liked at this job, and she started dating this guy, and so I obviously hated him anyway. Like, he didn't have to be a bad person. Like, I was already not gonna like him because like the girl that I liked was going out with him. But also, he was just a bad person. Like, I heard him, first of all, he outed me. To, like, just, I was right there, and like he's like, "Oh yeah, Lauren's a lesbian." I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, how did you, I didn't tell you that. Like, so someone outed me to him, probably his roommate. Fucking loser. Anyway, yeah, I heard him turn to a guy one day and just say, "I'm gonna rape you, ha 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 ha." And so like now when I'm like I couldn't identify as a Marxist after that, because that grossed me out so much. Especially like, I also have a video called 10-year anniversary, TWSA, of like the 10-year anniversary of being sexually assaulted. So yeah, I am a sexual assault survivor, and hearing him say that like grossed me out. I was like, ew, I hate you. And like, now that I've heard Marx say something similar, and like just like, okay, it gives me the ick about Marx, honestly. And I'm sure like some of the comments on that Xiaohongshu post, like in response to me, a lot of people were like, you should read, one of them said you should read Lenin or Stalin. I'm like, I don't want to like go into that, and like I'm just gonna get hurt again, you know what I mean? Like, these men are all the same. Like, I don't, there's also there's someone I follow on Blue Sky, I can't remember their name, but they end every post, they're like, "Moreover, ICE must be destroyed." They have a lot of followers. If you're on Blue Sky, you've probably seen them. Yeah, they were talking about, they're like, I don't want to like identify with like a man like Marx or Lenin or Stalin or whatever. Like, someone told me to read Lenin and Stalin. I don't know if I said that yet. Anyway, and then someone told me like I was a Marxist Leninist. I don't know. They're like, okay, anyway, yeah, so the person on Blue Sky was saying like I don't think I could take like a man, like anything a man wrote, and like base my whole like ideology off of that, because like these men don't care about women, and also like these men probably have women at home doing their like domestic labor while they're off like writing in bars, and like I don't know. I don't know that much about these people. Like, yeah, are there any women writers that anyone wants to recommend to me? No, they're all these like men. Maybe I would read if there were more. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not like against reading theory, and like I'm not saying if you do that, like whatever, you're bad. I'm just saying I personally don't want to spend my time doing that, and like I would rather watch a video of somebody who did do that, who did the reading, and like tells me what they said, because like I'm not good at reading that stuff. Like, I took a Soc 100 in college. I thought about like doing a sociology major, and like the undergrad soc classes I was okay with, but then once it got to like reading theory, I was like, I can't fucking do this. Like, it just, I would read the same thing over and over, and it's just like not absorbing. Also, that was like around the time of the sexual assault, so that probably didn't help. I was having trouble reading like anything at that point. So but part of me thinks that was actually before, so I'm like, it's hard to remember, but like I do think that class was before. So yeah, I was having a really hard time. So like, yeah, I don't think everyone should be expected to do the same things, like read theory. And if somebody likes doing that and is good at it and wants to make a video talking about like what they learned from reading this theory, that's great. Like, I think more people should do that instead of saying, oh, go do your own research, oh, go read a book. Like, maybe like make a video talking about what you know, because not everybody has access to the same information. Like, and also like regarding doing your own research and stuff, like when I was in college, I learned from one of my professors, like they taught us how to do like the database searches and like do all that stuff, but you need to pay to like get access to those articles. Like, we got it for free because we were paying the university for our tuition, and so they gave us access to these articles that we needed to do our classwork and stuff for free while we were paying. But like, I don't still have access to it, I don't think. Maybe I do, I don't know. I doubt it. So like, it's not accessible to everybody. It's hard to read sometimes, and like, we all shouldn't be expected to do the same things. Like, what if somebody's working like 2 jobs and like trying to take care of their kids? They don't have time to read like Marx and Lenin, you know what I mean? Like, and so like, also just the fact that like people were coming into the comments and like responding to me, telling me what I should be doing, like telling me I should be reading this person, someone was like, a lot of anarchists moved to communism, so like, you're a communist. And I was like, you can't tell me how to identify. Like, this is the kind of thing I mean. Like, you're imposing your views onto me. I don't think you should be doing that. Like, stop. So like, it's kind of driving me mad. Like, why is everyone telling me what I should be doing and telling me what I should be reading and telling me how I should be identifying? Like, if I want to use the word anarchist, how does that affect you? That's like kind of like straight people being like, oh, gay people getting married is ruining the sanctity of marriage. Like, this person identifying as an anarchist is ruining me identifying as a communist somehow. Like, what does it matter to you? Like, and I said, I'm like on your side. I'm like happy about any move away from capitalism. I'm like, oh my God, stop telling me what to do. It's driving me nuts. Anyway. Yeah, I try not to, like, I'm not one of those people who's like, I'm not gonna tell you, oh, hit like and subscribe every time I make a video. Like, if you want to hit like and subscribe, you'll do it. There's sometimes I'm watching a video where like I'll forget, because like I have a bunch queued, and so they'll say like and subscribe, and I'll be like, oh yeah, let me like minimize the screen because like it's on full screen and they just like go automatically, so I don't like, so yeah, sometimes I'll forget and be like, okay, fine, I'll like and subscribe. But like, there's one video I was watching, I was learning violin, and there's a violin teacher, and he would stop like every like 2 minutes in the video and be like, well, if you haven't hit like and subscribe yet, hit like and subscribe. And then he'd like teach another like exercise of like how to practice, and he'd be like, okay, and now if you haven't hit like and subscribe, hit like and subscribe. And it's like, he does it like 4 times, 5 times in one video, and I'm like, I don't want to watch your videos now because like a fifth of them is just you going hit like and subscribe, hit like. I'm just like, oh my God. So like, I did it once the first time he did it, I was like, yeah, let me just, and then I didn't expect him to do it so many more times in the video, and I'm like, I'm never gonna watch one of your videos again, congratulations, like, shut the fuck up, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, do whatever you want, you can subscribe if you want, don't subscribe if you want, like, it doesn't matter. Like, there are so many people that I would subscribe to just because they said it, and then I like never watch their video again because I'm like, oh, I like this video, it's interesting, and then like they just don't talk about topics that I have any interest in again, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I just subscribe to you for no reason. You have one subscriber who's just like not watching any of your views, so like, how is that benefiting you? I don't know. Yeah, this whole YouTube thing it's so silly. But I will say, like, there was a time when I first started watching YouTube, probably for like years, I don't even know, when I didn't know that you could like sign up for an account. I didn't know that you could subscribe to channels. I didn't know that you could even like the video. Like I would watch the video and not look at anything else on the screen. Actually, you know, it's like I remember being in 7th grade. I remember this so specifically. There was this girl named Anastasia. She was like, you have to watch Shoes by Kelly on YouTube. And I had never heard of YouTube and I didn't know how it was spelt. But what I knew about the internet was nothing was spelt right. So I was like, they're not gonna spell it Y-O-U-T-U-B-E. It's gonna be the letter U and then like T-O-O-B or something. So I went to YouTube, utoob.com. There was a search bar. I typed in Shoes by Kelly. I don't know what that website was, but I was like, I don't understand what she wants me to get out of this. And then she probably asked me the next day, like, oh my god, did you see it? It's so funny, right? Oh my god, yeah. And then I probably didn't even get to the right website until like 9th grade, 2 years later. I'm not tech savvy, you guys. You might be able to tell from the way that I don't edit my videos or like pick a thumbnail or anything. I just record and upload. That's only on this channel though. I do have like 2-3 other channels where I've like edited videos and stuff, but it's still like, there's a lot of times when like I'll be editing and I'll like be cutting out all my likes and ums and whatever and like trying to just get it like down, like trying not to waste everyone's time. I think there's a Hank Green video where he was like, you shouldn't have a single second of silence. Like, these people are watching your videos, you're wasting their time if there's a second of silence. And that's a little bit extreme to me. I like videos where people are just sitting here talking, not edited. I watch those all the time, so like, I don't care. But like for my, like if I'm talking about astrology and I'm just going like, and like there's sometimes when I'm like trying to think of the word to say, so like I'll edit that out, and then sometimes my cat will jump up and sit on my lap while I'm editing, and I'm like, I can't like keep moving my hands as much as I was before. So there'll be a point in the video where it's just like a bunch of likes and ums where there weren't any in like the rest of the video, just because my cat was sitting on my lap. So it's like, I have priorities, people. Anyway, yeah, I just think anarchy is my you should be an anarchist, because what if I labeled it, I'm gonna title the video reasons you should be an anarchist. You should be an anarchist because I like that one better. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna do I'm like, I wouldn't click on that video because it's like, I don't need you to tell me that I should be an anarchist. If I want to be an anarchist, I'll be an anarchist. Yeah, okay. I already said the thing about Marx. Yeah, I think like everybody has their like role to play in society, and like if there weren't dyslexic people who like, they have a harder time reading than like the average population, right? So like maybe they're supposed to be using their time and energy on other things, and they're sitting there like in elementary school being like forced to learn how to read. Like, I'm not saying nobody should learn how to read. I'm saying like it shouldn't be necessary for everybody to read, or even just be able to read. Like, I traveled through Europe a little bit, and they have a lot of like pictures, because there's a lot of people with a lot of different languages coming through, so they use like more pictures to like identify like where the bathroom is, where like the whatever else, ticket counters and stuff, like and we could do that. We could do more like visual, like picture image based signs. Like, I don't know, it's like, why do you even need to learn how to read to do paperwork? If you want to read street signs, like what if, like, I don't like driving, I hate driving, I wish I never had to drive, and yeah, like not everybody needs to learn how to drive. We should have public transportation. Actually, I don't think anybody should be driving. Like, we should just have public transportation for everyone and no cars, and that would be, maybe not no, like, I don't know. Like, I think some people, like, okay, I'm writing this book about like kind of like dystopian but like appearing utopian. That's how they all are. Like, there's utopian society, and it's like kind of astrology based. So like I made it so like somebody thinks like Aquarius is stereotypically the like rebellious sign, and so they're trying to figure out how to make a society that like wouldn't have like wars or rebellion, like where there would just be peace. They're like, well, Aquarius is, I don't know why they would decide this, but Aquarius is like the rebellious sign, so we just like, if we make sure nobody is born during the sign of Aquarius, then like our society will be perfect. And so, but then they have to have like this whole, like, if no one can be born at that time, then like you can't have sex like 9 months before that. And then like also pregnancy is weird, and sometimes like maybe somebody waits the right amount of time, but then their baby's like premature, and then so like what happens to those people? That's kind of like, I'm thinking of like maybe like there are babies born at that time, and then they're like kind of like this like slave class or something, like the babies are like kidnapped by the government and like taken, and then they do all the work that like no one else wants to do, and they can do that because nobody else knows. I don't know. Anyway, why did I bring that? The point is, I was just gonna say, like, there's no cars. Like nobody has a car in that world except for like the doctor. The like doctors, I guess there's not one doctor in the whole world. Like the doctors get cars so they can like make house calls, and they can like go faster than the public transportation, which is like constantly making stops. So like I do think that like some people maybe can have cars if some people want to like build like a city that like uses money, but like the whole world doesn't need to have all of these things. The whole world doesn't need to be built around cars, because the oil companies like lobbied state governments and city governments and like made it so everything's structured around cars, and so now everyone needs to have a car. It doesn't need to be like that. We don't all need to have money, but if you want to have money, I guess you can have money. But yeah, I don't think anybody should be forced into anything that they don't want to do. Like, if you don't want to learn how to read, you shouldn't have to. There was a video that I watched that it was a good video, but I think I just like fundamentally disagree on this one point. 'Cause she's like, the point was like the literacy rates of like Gen Z, or like Gen Z can't read, I think, or Gen Alpha, whatever. Like the kids coming up in school like don't know how to read, and the teachers aren't allowed to like hold anyone back apparently, because parents would keep complaining. So yeah, they're just like, this kid doesn't know how to read, but we have to let them go up to the next class anyway. And so it's just like, it's a problem. But like, I don't think everybody should, like, there's this one girl who was like, she said like she didn't learn how to read when she was young, and then like her mom didn't make her, and then like when she wanted to learn how to read, she didn't have like the resources to do it, because like she was trying to learn how to read like in high school, but like by then the teachers aren't like, they're not teaching people how to read all the time. Like the elementary school teachers, they probably just like didn't have enough resources for her. So she's like, I actually like never really, like, I don't know if she never, but like she ended up like having to drop out of high school or something. And like I was like, that's sad, but also like in the way that like my society would be structured, like my ideal society, not my society where I'm like the ruler, but my ideal society where like everyone is like able to do whatever they want, like within reason, obviously. Like most people aren't gonna go out murdering people. Oh, I did start saying, I was like, I think like murder happens because of like you need something, and you don't have access to it. Like I'm thinking of like mine hunters. There was one guy that they interviewed who was like, his mom was just like really controlling, and so he killed her because he wanted freedom, and like she wouldn't give it to him. And other people kill for like I don't know, it's usually for like purposes to just, crime is socially constructed, you know, and like it's a result of not having enough resources or something like that. Some people commit murder for like love purposes, like passion or whatever, which again I think like monogamy is one of the like results of like our colonial like oppressive systems that we live under, like because like a man would, okay, I think everything comes down to like men not knowing if they're the father of a baby or not. Like a woman can sleep with multiple people and the man, and like I think men ultimately just don't want to be tricked into like raising another man's baby and paying for another man's baby, and so they built this whole like oppressive structure. Like that's the only thing that it comes back to me. I'm like, it's just because like some man was like, I don't know if that's like, you know what I mean? But yeah, so like women aren't allowed to have sex before marriage. Men are. Okay, who are you having sex with? Other men probably, but no, that's gay. Being gay is bad. So like, how does that make sense? But like, okay, so you have to marry, a man has to marry a virgin, because otherwise she could have had sex with someone else and she could be pregnant with some other man's baby. And then you'd have to like pay for another man's baby. You fucking cuck. Wouldn't that be so embarrassing? Anyway, yeah, it's just like, so I think if we, yeah, monogamy is just like kind of, I think it's kind of, I'm just not even finishing sentence. I should edit this out, but I'm not going to. There was someone called like Butch Anarchist on Twitter, and they would do like threads, and they had a thread about how like asking your partner to be monogamous is kind of like controlling, because like if they're having experience, like life is about having experiences, right? And so like it's about learning about yourself, and a lot of the ways that we learn about ourselves is through relationships with other people. And so like I think there's more love to go around than we say. And so like if we're with somebody and they start talking to somebody else, and we start getting jealous because, oh, there can only be one person in their life, right? But like it doesn't have to be that way. Obviously like polyamory exists, most of us know that, but like I think a lot of people would just like, there's a lot of jokes about like polyamory and like open relationships and stuff just being like kind of weird, and so like I think a lot of people are just like kind of put off by it still, and like haven't, or they're like, I would just get too jealous, like I couldn't do it. But like I think like confronting that jealousy could be like good for you, and then you could like move past it and then like be able to like experience more things. Anyway, like I don't think negative emotions are there to like stop us from doing things. I think they're there to like point out, like I started I'm not polyamorous, like I don't date really at all, but like yeah, I've seen some videos about polyamory, and they're like, yeah, like the jealousy is a sign. Like if you see your partner doing something with someone else and you get jealous, that's just a sign that you want them to do that with you too. Like if they're like planning this date for like with somebody else and you start getting jealous, maybe that just means they haven't like spent as much time planning something for you, and you just like want that from them too. And so you can just tell them that, and they'll probably be like, yeah, okay, that's fair. They probably won't be like, wow, you're such a fucking whiny little bitch, I'm gonna break up with you. You know what I mean? Like I think we get like into these, we have these ideas about like what's gonna happen like if we tell somebody how we feel, and then like it's just kind of silly. Well, it comes from like childhood trauma, I'm sure, of like telling our parents what we wanted, and our parents are like, well, I don't fucking care, the world's not fair. You'd complain if they hung you with a new rope, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's why you should be an anarchist, because I say so. And then, okay, the one other thing that made me think of that's like totally unrelated, I saw someone complaining about like people, she's like, I don't want kids, and then like people are telling me that I'm selfish for it, and I always just think like, how is it selfish to like not want to have kids, like to not have kids because you don't want to have kids, but it's not selfish to tell somebody else that they need to have kids because you want them to have kids? How is that not selfish? So if anyone uses that against you, turn it back around on them, be like, you don't think you're selfish for telling me to have kids even though I don't want to have kids just because you want me to have kids? You fucking dumbass, you don't know what the word selfish means. Yeah, I think I'm done. Go be an anarchist. Thanks. Okay, free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free all oppressed beings everywhere. Thanks for watching. I have other stuff you can watch down below. Okay, bye.